Good afternoon, everybody, on a beautiful day in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but not actually because we're in Camden. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Whole Milk, All Fat Sports Chat on WCCR, Rutgers Camden Online Radio. I'll start off by introducing myself, and my co-host will introduce themselves. I'm Monty.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jack.
And you are listening to the greatest Philadelphia sports podcast hosted by college students in a college radio station localized in Camden, New Jersey.
This episode of Whole Milk, All Fat Sports Chat is brought to you by Venom. The movie's so good it needs its own cinematic universe. It just broke the record for the biggest opening for an October movie.
We are not sponsored or affiliated with Venom, Sony, or any production.
This episode is also brought to you by StubHub. They'll screw you over
Just
and
kidding.
sell you the incorrect tickets and then throw a fit when you try to fix it.
And we can't read seating charts.
And lastly, this episode is also brought to you by Quavo's new album. I don't know what it's called, but LL Cool J just gave it Record of the Year at the Grammys.
Strong start.
Also, shout out Mr. Cohen. He liked my tweet that we uploaded, finally got our episodes up on YouTube. I don't know if he listens live. Probably not, because he's probably teaching.
But he totally should.
But I don't know if or when he'll listen to this. But shout out Mr. Cohen.
Good math teacher. All
Never
right.
had him.
Because
That's
you're a
your
nerd.
loss.
I missed out. Yep, that's my L.
All right, so I think we should get right into a recap of the Thursday night game.
E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles. Finally won. Again.
So, yeah, we have a little 2-for-1 special today because the Eagles had 2 games since our last show. So we'll talk about, I guess, Sunday's game first.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't think.
Yeah, that was depressing. It was not a very, very sloppy Eagles game. And despite the fact that they literally forgot how to play football for an entire half, they still almost won. They were an onside kick away from having a chance to win the game. But it was a really frustrating loss, especially because there were so many chances we had to put the game away or take the lead or win. J.I. Ajayi fumbling on the 5-yard line. Carson Wentz is like the pass protection breaking down multiple times and Carson having to run around like a maniac. The defense, struggling. But we righted the ship last night against the Giants.
I was correct once again with my choice of the opposing team of the Eagles.
Okay. Your point?
I know.
Your point?
I'm getting this game down. I'm moving up in the standings.
And? Your point?
Maybe I can just call the Eagles losses and they'll
Okay,
just lose.
you picked the Broncos over the Jets, and the Jets won. Jack got that one. Is he flaunting that?
No.
Exactly. He's a humble winner. Maybe you should be a little bit more humble and considerate of other people's feelings, Michael.
Well, I need something to be happy about. All right, Monty?
All right, well, I'm proud of you. You happy about that? I support you as a friend.
But
Yeah, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this podcast, Michael. I don't get any recognition. I don't ask for it.
Well, you got a position on our board.
Okay. And? Yeah, big thumbs up.
the Eagles beat the Giants last night. I don't think the game was really ever in doubt from the first kickoff because Eli Manning threw an interception on the second play of the game.
And Odell Beckham Jr. can't stop crying.
Yep, Odell Beckham Jr. walked off the field with 2 seconds left in the half, and he also assaulted a cooling fan with his helmet and screamed. So
And then he went and hung out with Lil Jon.
And then he also went on ESPN the week before that and said that he doesn't understand why he doesn't get 15 to 20 targets a game, even though he chose to resign there. So I don't know why you would if you weren't happy with what you were getting. But Saquon Barkley is very good. He's basically just Barry Sanders 2.0 because he's stuck on a bad team with a bad quarterback, and he's really, really good. And he's just kind of like struggling through that.
How many yards he run
I think
for
he-
last night? Like 700?
130.
130, and then he almost
130?
had 100 receiving yards as well.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's
yeah.
about the only Giants player that could do anything. But Carson Wentz threw 3 touchdowns. Alshon Jeffrey had 2 touchdowns. And the Eagles defense sacked Eli Manning 4 times. So we had a good road performance on defense for once. So it was all around. It was a very solid win. Obviously, the Giants are a dumpster fire, and they're still bad. So
I'm sorry. He has 700 on the year so far. He has
already?
yeah.
No, there's no way.
438 rushing yards
Oh,
and
you mean-
373 receiving
Oh, you mean
yards.
total
You mean
yards.
yards
Yes,
from
yeah,
that's yards from
that's-
scrimmage.
Yeah.
Huh? What do you mean?
That's yards from scrimmage. Like in total with that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's all. Yeah.
That's the number that I knew. I didn't know if it was last night, which I don't know why I thought it was last night.
How do you think he managed
'Cause I don't watch
700
sports.
yards?
I don't watch sports a lot, Michael. Give me some time to like keep adjusting.
You've had a year.
Okay, I've had a year, but it was an incomplete year.
Could have used that incompleteness to fill in with more sports.
Okay. I didn't watch sports almost at all when we first started doing the podcast, Michael.
We'll catch up.
Okay, I'm catching up now. All right? Give me some time. Relax, Michael.
But the ship has been righted. The Eagles are 500 again. We don't have more losses than we had last season yet. But I'm still mad about that Vikings game because we could easily be 4-2 right now. We could easily be 5-0, honestly, because every single game we've lost has been by 1 possession, and it's always had the chance to take the win, but
And
failed.
it's always been a defensive fluke.
Yep.
And people make the argument that defense doesn't win championships. Like people say, like your offense matters more than your defense. Okay, sandbag me some more, guys. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sandbagging me and having a lot of dead air in our show already.
You're welcome.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
thank you.
So-
Lots.
Let's continue the Eagles talk with Jay Ajayi being out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, conveniently, when he complained about the lack of times we ran the ball, he gets put on injured reserve the next day. So
Oh, I thought you were going to say conveniently after he took out injury loss life insurance.
he did that as well.
He got that, and then he tore his ACL like immediately after getting it.
Yeah, so I don't think JHI is going to be back next year.
Nope.
So much for him being the workhorse we want. Workhorse back.
Time
we
to go
needed.
get Bell.
So speaking of Le'Veon Bell,
Yes.
there's 2 major running backs currently on the market that the Eagles could possibly trade for: LaShawn McCoy, Le'Veon Bell.
So yeah, since our best running back is an undrafted free agent, and our second best running back is this 5th-round pick from West Virginia, and Darren Sproles hasn't played a game since week 1, who has somehow his hamstring must be made of like just the leanest meat.
Putty.
Yeah, silly putty. It's got
So-
a silly putty for a hamstring.
Thoughts on who you think out of the 2 the Eagles should trade for?
Who they should trade for or who they're most likely to get?
Should trade for.
Who they
Well-
should trade for,
I don't think they should trade for Le'Veon Bell because
the
I don't-
asking price would be too high.
the asking price is going to be too high,
And
then
the
I
salary
don't
cap.
really want to give him the money he
Yeah.
wants. And I think you're going to you have to give up too much because like we trade for him, but is he going to come immediately,
it's
or is he
gonna
just
be-
or is he going to do the same thing he's been doing with the Steelers, where
Yeah. You're gonna
he's
trade
not going to report until week 10?
you're gonna trade too much and then it's basically just a rental for the rest of the year because
He's probably not good because we're not. There's no way
we're
we're
not
going to
be able to
money
pay
he
him
wants.
enough money to keep him here for more than a year.
Yeah. So I don't really see like selling the farm to throw a Band-Aid on it. I think we should trade for LaShawn McCoy, and I think we're probably most likely gonna get LaShawn McCoy because I think eventually like you could get him for probably like a really easy like 3rd or 4th round pick probably.
Well, currently, supposedly the asking price is a 2nd and a 3rd round pick for LaShawn McCoy.
I think the problem is the Eagles aren't in a position to take him. But I think if the Bills keep losing, I think they're gonna lower their price.
I mean, as of right now, LaShawn McCoy fits really well with the Eagles' timeline because once his contract runs up, that's when you extend Wentz. So you don't have to worry about him taking up cap space once you have to extend Wentz.
I don't even know how many years there's left on his contract.
Two.
Though. Two.
This year and next year. Both roughly $9 million a season.
Yeah, I don't really see him being. I see like if we do wind up trading for someone, it's gonna be LaShawn McCoy. It's not gonna be Le'Veon Bell. I think Le'Veon Bell, unless the Steelers get desperate and like decide to reduce like what their asking price is, we're not getting Le'Veon Bell, and I don't even think it's worth trading for Le'Veon Bell because he's just not gonna be in football shape either.
You don't think that he's staying in shape during?
He's probably staying in shape, but then like it's like it's like Carson Wentz stayed in football shape. All their other, and they're still not back to 100% yet.
We have 10.5 million in cap space, I think, right?
No.
Well,
The problem is
they,
Nick Foles is hogging like
Nick
$10
Foles
million in cap space.
Yeah.
Well, they did redo. They restructured. Not Brandon Graham. Fletcher Cox's deal to open up. I think it was
more
like
cap space.
$6 million this year and like $11 million next year.
But honestly, what we should have done is like looking back, we should have gotten rid of Foles. I don't really think we should have. We decided to give him more money to reward him, but at the end of the day, we could have gotten far more value for him then.
Yeah, I don't see why you guys wanted to keep him so much. You
Yeah,
could
why
have
are we-
easily gotten like a
Because
really
I think
good.
if Nate Sudfeld started the first 2 games of the season, we'd still be 1-1.
I understand having the Super Bowl MVP as an insurance policy for your starter, but if you're paying him $13.6 million, it's like that's a lot of money for a backup quarterback that you're probably rarely.
He's not
going
to be here after this year.
I know.
I mean, if we go back in time, you especially Anthony was a big proponent for keeping in Nick Foles instead of trading him and getting like a good pick out of him.
If you trade him for a high pick, I mean hindsight is 2020, because we didn't really exactly know when Carson Wentz was going to be back, and Nick Foles is the reigning Super Bowl MVP. So yeah, you want to keep him because he's capable of doing that well.
Yeah, but then like another thing is like Carson Wentz wasn't going to take as long to come back as everyone thought he was going to take. Because if you look at like when similar timelines of when people tore their ACLs, like Philip Rivers and Carson Palmer both had theirs operated on January, and they started week 1 the following season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really like Wentz was not going to be ready at all, and we absolutely needed that safety, that backup.
I'm just saying because you don't want to rush him.
Right.
Because this is the face of the franchise.
But now you see him
for a
now,
while.
and he's pretty much like based on how he's thrown 1 interception this whole season. So far.
he's 110%.
Since the Colts game, he's been insanely good. So I don't like. I mean, I think he's definitely like. Obviously, his mobility still. He probably doesn't have the full confidence in himself yet to like move around and be agile and stuff. But you can see it coming back.
Yeah, he's getting
and his like game speed and throwing skills are back. They're definitely back to what they used to be. So I don't think we're.
Yeah, but 13, almost 14 million if you round up for a backup.
Yeah, it's too much.
That's
So we should have
way
gotten
too
rid of him.
much
And then
money.
we have the same problem with Chance Warmack, who's played like 2 snaps all season. He's making $3 million. So we put like obviously like these are moves that we made at the time that we didn't know what it was going to be like this season. But now the issue is the Eagles are so strapped for cap space, and they've just put their money into the wrong baskets. They've put their eggs in the wrong basket. But because, I mean, it's like, and the problem is we still have to give Brandon Graham an extension. We still have to give Jordan Hicks an extension. We have to give Nelson Aguilar an extension. We have to there's a lot of people whose contracts are running out in the next 2 or 3 years that it's like going to be a strong debate of who we bring back.
And you're running out of time for when.
Yeah, and then once Wentz gets his mega extension. But honestly, I could see Wentz being a guy who takes a team-friendly deal, kind of like Tom Brady.
Well, the thing is, Tom Brady didn't take that until like 2011, 2012. Like back in 2010, he was still one of the highest-paid quarterbacks in the league. Like it wasn't until he was well into his 30s that he started taking all these friendly deals.
Mm-hmm.
A
But
lot of people just like completely forget about that.
I mean, I think Wentz would take a team-friendly deal, but I think that would be something he would have to ask for. Or the team would have to ask him for.
I could see the Eagles trying to go the route of Kirk Cousins, where if you fully guarantee it, you lower the amount you have to pay him per year, so you save cap space that way. Because as of right now, it seems like it's going to work out really well for the Vikings because he's the Vikings' best quarterback since they had Brett Favre in 2009, and they save like $3 to $5 million every year, which can help slide in some of the extensions for the defense and other players. Also helps when you have like the two best route running wide receivers in the league.
But this is a problem that we have to deal with. Obviously, I mean, for some reason we've been hit by the injury bug hard this year and last year as well. So maybe we need to bring back some sports smoothies and some dynamic stretching. But
Your team's not pliable enough.
yeah, clearly not. But I think the problem is we're getting old too. I don't think Jason Peters is going to be back after this year. I think Sproles is definitely done.
No, it was just reported that he tore his bicep.
Yeah, but apparently he's going to play through it.
Yeah, but like at that point, the recovery is going to be so long in the off season that like
I think he's going to
throw off his.
He's going to get released if he doesn't retire. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to get LaShawn McCoy. I don't know when, but it's probably going to happen soon.
Mm-hmm.
Probably in the next week or two. So maybe we'll have something interesting to talk about next week. But that's the Eagles.
All right, we should now transition to the pick'em.
The pick'em.
Oh, we're going to do it this early?
Yeah, might as well since we're on the
NFL.
football. Yeah, NFL talk. Just continue right through.
I was very silent because I was just screwing around with every time the over the cap calculator.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. So we have a change in the rankings.
We had a bad week, like I predicted.
Well, I had a bad week.
You had a terrible week.
I had a
But
terrible week.
You also had the sex number for your record. So
is that
it was nice.
Is that a neutral?
Neutral.
Yeah, evens out.
That's not a win or a loss. That's kind of just a neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah, evens out for you.
So do I get 2 extra wins?
No,
No.
because then you wouldn't have the number anymore.
No.
You wouldn't
Like
have
overall.
the sex number.
Like I get like a
No.
bonus
No.
plus 2 wins
No.
overall.
No.
No,
Okay.
because you still had a losing record.
No, you're right.
It just happened to be the sex number.
Well, we have a change in the rankings. Jack is now in first place, 43 and 32,
I'm not
and
gonna
Mike and
lose
I
it.
are tied for second, 41 and 34.
I'm not going to lose that
Don't
record.
say that too soon, Jack.
I just want to point out that it's actually pretty amazing that we are all above 500 for these guesses.
Clearly,
this
there
far
hasn't
into
been a
the
lot
season.
of parity this season, but we also get a lot of picks wrong because I thought the Titans were a good team. It turns out they're not because they lost to the Bills.
They're pretenders.
Yeah, we I don't know why we all picked the Falcons.
The
I honestly
Chiefs-
looking back at that, I forgot that the Falcons defense was like half destroyed and doesn't exist anymore. So I regret picking the Steelers.
Well, Falcons no longer.
The Chiefs are still hot.
Yeah, that's
They've-
kind of scary.
They have not cooled off yet.
Mm-mm. And then the 49ers, I thought they had enough talent to beat the Cardinals, but it turns out not. It's not the case.
So the Chiefs and the Rams are both 6-0.
Yes, they're the only undefeated teams left. And I think aren't the Rams the Rams play this week.
Yes, the Rams do play this week.
So
And yeah, the Packers just lost.
to the Lions as well. So
I don't know what
I
happened
thought
there.
well, Mason Crosby missed 5 field goals. So
Ooh, okay.
there was that. So yeah,
I
probably
feel
could've
like
gotten
I've
that.
heard talks of Mason Crosby being released from the Packers like for 5 years now.
Yep, I think he's been on the bubble for the past 10 years.
Because I was wondering, I was like, oh, was Aaron Rodgers just not healthy? No, he threw for 442 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and they only lost by a lot because Mason Crosby left like 13 points on the board. But that's what happened.
Good job. Good job, Mason.
Yep.
All right, so we should get right into
Well,
the pick 'em.
I get the cool guy award because I picked the Jets
Yep. And
Everyone else doubted me, but the Broncos are in fact